Every time a new aerodynamic product is launched, we get bombarded with figures saying how much time you can save, how many watts you can save, how much faster you can go. You'd be forgiven for thinking, in fact, that if you went out and bought every aerodynamic product on the market, that you'd be able to finish your bike rides before you've even started. Now, I am not that cynical, it has to be said. When these new Zipp 808 NSWs landed in our office the other week, I got very excited. Embarrassingly so, in fact. Now, 808s are already lauded as some of the fastest wheels on the market, but Zipp have refined these even more in their top secret so-called Nest laboratory. Now, they've made the rim wider, it's now 28mm at the widest point. They've also changed the dimples on the surface of the rim to make them even more stable and even faster. In fact, they've even changed the decals to contribute to that, and quite a nice move. Then, among other things, they've also changed the design of the freewheel to make it more efficient when coasting. But perhaps more importantly, it also sounds freaking amazing. Now, they're so fast, in fact, that it's got me thinking, if this pair of wheels could save me 5% of my total power when riding along, now that's the difference between my 20-minute maximum power and my lactate threshold, so the power I can sustain for 1 hour. So, if I did my 20-minute test on a set of alloy shallow wheels and then replaced them with these, could I sustain the same speed of that 20-minute test for 1 hour on a flat circuit? I think we better try and find out. So these are very standard alloy wheels. I'm going to ride them as fast as I possibly can for 20 minutes, and then I'm going to take note of my average speed over this completely flat circuit. Then, after a cup of tea and a lie down, I'm going to replace those alloy wheels with these, the new 808 NSWs. I'm then going to ride at the same average speed as before, but for how much longer can I hold it before I completely blow? How much further can these wheels let me ride? How much longer could my race-winning break be? How much longer could I ride with my mates before I blow my doors? How much longer could I stay in bed before having to ride to work if I had these wheels? That's the thing about GCN, we are tackling these hard-hitting questions. Now I'd better actually ride my push bike. Right then, 20-minute max test. Should be nice. All right, so that was 41.12 k an hour. So that feels eminently doable. Let's find out. Right then, run 2 on the 808 NSWs. Let's see how long I can ride at 41.12 k's an hour. Right then, the results are in. The second one I averaged 41.13, so 0.01 kilometers an hour faster, but I lasted 51 minutes, which is pretty astonishing really. I don't think I've ever seen it quite so distinct like that, riding one set of wheels and then another. Now essentially, because I was able to ride at a lower intensity for the same speed, it meant that I was able to sustain that speed for significantly longer. And when it's talking about around and about threshold, then it doesn't take a difference of many watts before you start extrapolating many more minutes of duration. So I'm quite impressed by that actually. Now, if you can't afford to buy aerodynamic kit for your bike, then do not despair, because your body still makes up the largest proportion of your aerodynamic drag. And if you want to see some tips on exactly how you make yourself more aerodynamic, then you can get through to a video just up there where we give you 5 really quick, handy tips. Or to make yourself even more aerodynamic and sit on someone else's wheel, then we've got a video showing you how to slipstream just down there. Finally, subscribe to GCN. Well, you can click on my brand new wheels if you like. I'm just about to do a Lloydie and see if I can make off with them. Catch me if you can. Right then, 20-minute max test. Should be nice. That was a Matt Stevens moment.